Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Jack Bendahan and I want to welcome you to my jackbendahan.com website. Really excited for you to join me. I think I have a lot to offer you guys, and I'll tell you, the road hasn't been easy. It's been an up and down road, but through all my entrepreneurial adventures, one of which I'll share with you and which was recently brought back to me by my mentor Ray Higdon, is what we call a dream binder. Before I get into the aspects of goal setting and goals, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and a story that I went through. Personally, I find it pretty inspiring, and a lot of the people I talk to find it inspiring as well. When I was 18 or 19 years old, I, like any other kid, was watching TV a lot and noticed an infomercial where we saw this guy with, big teeth, great smile, and he was very believable. This man that I'm talking about is known as Tony Robbins, and to me, he was one of the biggest mentors in my early 20s and even now to this day. He talks about things that we all dream of and puts us in a real positive state. And I remember I went out there. I scrounged up, at the time I didn't have much, but I scrounged up. I think it was $200 or $300. Sent it off by mail and waited urgently for that package to come in, because back then those CDs weren't available in every Costco, or you couldn't just buy them on the street. It was a really timely process to get them, especially here in Canada. And funny enough, I got so impatient at one point that I actually called the Tony Robbins Foundation, asking them what was going on. I was waiting weeks and weeks and weeks, and I ended up getting a call from the president back with a call back from the actual president of the company, which was pretty amazing. I wanted to get Tony on the phone, but that didn't work out. Anyhow, received the DVDs, went to work, started listening to them over and over and over again. And at the time, I was only 19 years old. I was working in a collection department, going to university at the same time, making barely minimum wage, pretty much. And I decided to set, 4 goals for myself. One of the goals was that I would make $250,000 within the next year. Now, I didn't know how that was going to be possible. I didn't know what I was going to do at that point when I wrote that goal to achieve it. My second goal was that I was a really, really skinny kid, and I guess I had a bit of a complex about it. I was probably 6'1" and weighed 145, 150 pounds, and I wanted to get into acting and modeling, and there was no way at that point. I was just too skinny, and it also was a confidence thing. So that was one of my goals, was to get in shape and become super ripped. My third goal was to meet a lot of women and date, and my fourth goal was to have a great family life full of joy. That's always been me. I'm a Cancer, so I've always been big on family. It's my number one priority in life. But here's the interesting part of the story. So those 4 goals, I looked at them and took them down and wrote actions down and started working on those goals. And I remember one morning I was sitting for breakfast with my entire family, including cousin, aunts, and everybody else. And I was only about 19. And I looked across to my parents and my aunt and my uncle, and I said, by next year, I'm going to be making $250,000. Now, they thought I was crazy. You have this kid here, he's sitting at a table, can't even pay for his breakfast, he's making $10 an hour, he doesn't even have a car to get to university, and next thing you know, I'm putting out these goals that seem totally unrealistic. But sure enough, when that year was over, and maybe even less than that year, I did hit that 250, and then the next year I hit 350, and then the next year I hit $500,000. And as for all the other goals, those goals happened too. I actually got into a couple movies and commercials. I did travel to Milan to do some modeling at the time. I did date a ton of women, and my family life was better than ever. So I just want to illustrate to you, how the belief and goal setting can actually work if you believe in it totally, and if you take it seriously, and if you push all those other thoughts aside. Now, I will tell you, when I did achieve all those things, somehow, life happens, and started to get into bit of bad times. My parents were both sick. My confidence kind of went down, and my business took a big hit too. And we ended up getting into a huge lawsuit with a big bank. Probably should have walked away from that one, but being that the big hitter that I am, I swung big and unfortunately crashed hard. So that's another story. I think my belief kind of dwindled, and I wasn't focusing on those beliefs anymore. I kind of lost it, and so I was actually forced into corporate bankruptcy maybe 5-6 years later. And that's life, though. Life's a roller coaster. It's an up and down, and you just got to pick yourself back up and start focusing on the good. And hopefully what happens in the end is you start achieving those goals more and more often, because your goals are going to change. So anyway, getting to the, I thought that was just an interesting story to give you, the Dream Binder. This is my Dream Binder, and I'm a life insurance broker for the last 9 years. I recently got into network marketing, and for me, it's exciting. It's something that I've looked at, but I never found a product that was right for me. And I'm just super excited because the people that I'm following now, these mentors that I have, they're making me see this stuff so much more than I did. And quite frankly, it's helping both my insurance business and my network marketing business simultaneously. I'm seeing growth in both. So I urge you all to get a Dream Binder. So let me explain what it is. On the front here, what I've done is, you see Rocky. This is one of my favorite quotes. It says, "The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and it don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and leave you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done." And I think that's a phenomenal quote, even if it's from a movie. If you ever listen to Sylvester Stallone's story, it sounds a lot like what he went through to get that movie made. He was living in poverty. He was living on nothing and basically even had to sell his dog. And the funny part of the story is that he even bought his dog back. I think it was for $15,000 or $25,000 to the person he sold it for, too. So interesting. In a Dream Binder, typically what you'll do is you will outline, your goals. So all your, I outlined over 50 to 100 goals, and those could be people goals or thing goals, or they could be dream goals. They could be really any kind of goal or desire that you have. Maybe it's a survival course that you want to take. That's one of mine. Or maybe it's a new car, or maybe it's a vacation with your family to Europe. And these are all mine, of course. But what I did was I got these plastic sheets, and I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see, but got these plastic sheets, and basically what I did was I printed out pictures from Google and from my own site of things that are important to me. So first thing I put down here, my first page, is be grateful. And as I said, my family is the most important thing to me. So you see some pictures of my family, of my daughter and my son Ocean, and my wife. And so that's the first part. To me, family is the biggest dream of all, and never to let go of that. But then you see some trips that we went on to Cancun, and then we get into some people that are inspirational to me, like Tony Robbins and Frank Kern and Troy Brown and Mark Casetta. Even the big guy, Schwarzenegger. If you've ever read his book, Total Recall, what an amazing story about resiliency and not giving up, even through a lot of ups and downs. You'll see some dream cars, some things I'd like to do with my son, like surf, and even with my daughter, of course, and my wife. This is a place that we used to go to as kids called Sarasota, Florida, and it's, in my opinion, the most beautiful beach in the world. White sand. You'll never see anything like it, so I'd like to go visit there. And, some dream houses, and beautiful car. This I'm not a big car guy. I've never really had an interest for a car, but this car kind of stuck out. It's the Stingray. And then I put some beautiful vacation spots like in Bora Bora. I'm sure everybody would want to go there. Nice watch. Maybe an African lion safari. Tough Mudders, getting my body back in shape. Been doing a lot of CrossFit myself, so I'm on that. Beautiful beaches. Helping kids, volunteerism maybe. And some survival courses. One of my favorite shows actually is this show called Naked and Afraid. And it's truly amazing. These people were just dropped off completely naked without anything and survived for 35 days in the jungle. Maybe a big screen TV, and yeah, I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, so an on-glass game would be pretty cool. So those are my dreams. I just thought I'd share some of those with you. And then what I do is I go into specific goals. So I'm not going to show you that because it's going to be too hard to hold up, but you know, basically I would look at health and fitness and I would write down my, you know, the goal itself and the purpose for achieving the goal, and then the action plan for achieving the goal. And same for business and finance. And then I would go on to, that's a long one, family and relationships. And personal learning and growth. For me, personal learning and growth is a real big thing. I mean, I struggle sometimes with having belief in myself and confidence. I know I come across as a very confident guy, but sometimes we all struggle with it. So I have to, you know, keep up my confidence and belief by reading books and listening to programs to keep that enthusiasm, that spark up. And it's something that you always have to grow on. And there's so much personal growth out there. I mean, from never mind just working on yourself, but learning new skills like how to use Facebook and how to, you know, meet people on LinkedIn. These are all different ways of you know, growing personally. And the last one here, which is actually the most important one, is obviously family and relationships, and then it's fun and personal fulfillment. And I love traveling. I love traveling so much that it's part of my business now. So anyway, I thought that would be helpful. I thought that would be kind of an inspiring video. You all should have dream books. I look at mine at least once a day, if not twice, and whatever you focus on consistently will become your reality. Even when life throws curveballs, just get right back on that dream book, look at it again and again, and eventually your dreams will come true. Thanks for joining me, and I'll keep these videos coming, and feel free to download my free ebook, Everybody Loves a Comeback. It talks about my up and down story in entrepreneurship. And if you have any comments or if you like the video, please share with others and like the page. Thanks so much.